Hi guys, it's Leah Busby and Travis Denham here doing our update for you guys to let you know what's happening in our industry. So Travis, it's good to see you again.
Thanks,
with
Leah.
some updates to our clients.
Yeah, good. So obviously last week we had a chat about what happens when the buyer puts the offer in and the offer gets accepted and what happens from there. So what we thought we'd do this week is have a chat to Leah and find out, Leah, when we've gone and sold a property to somebody, so they've come to us and said, yep, here's our offer, we're pre-approved, we've checked with you, you've said, yep, they're good to go. Obviously, they're not just done yet. What happens once we've accepted the offer? What's happening in the background after that from your end?
Yeah, sure. So everyone's slightly differently, but it's a really good question because we did have a scenario this week when a client just thought, we've purchased the property, we're ready to go. So what happens is we do ask our clients to keep us involved as much as possible because we do have agents ringing us, checking on them. And like Travis said last week, we don't ever disclose confidential information, but we do say, yep, XYZ client is fully pre-approved. As soon as we get that contract, we're good to go. We don't have to talk about numbers and say, oh, yeah, they've got an extra $10,000 up their sleeve, which some agents do try and get from us, which always amuses me. But from the background, so we get the contract from the real estate agent. So we'll generally get an excited client. We had a client cry this week, which is quite cute. Say, yes, we've had our offer accepted. We will contact the real estate agent and say, awesome news, can you please send us through a copy of the contract? We then send it through to their conveyancer to make sure the conveyancer's got everything that they need. And then from the bank background, we need to confirm the figures. So often we have a general number pre-approved. It's not always the number our clients actually purchase the property for. So we have to finalise those numbers, finalise the deposit, calculate lender's mortgage insurance if we're needing to do that, and then we submit the contract to the bank. So we say to the bank, right, now our clients have purchased a property, this is what they've purchased it for, they are going to put it in X amount of dollars, they want a fixed rate or variable rate and offset account, all the bells and whistles that we've talked about. And then my team in the background here order the bank valuation. So all banks need a property valuation on all contracts. So it doesn't matter if we've got pre-approval or where we're up to. Some of them will do an online valuation and not actually come out and book an appointment with you. But if it's a minimum deposit, often they will want to get through the office.
More do than don't from my perspective.
That's right. Yeah. So they do just come and check out the property. So it's not a building inspection, it's a valuation. Yep. The valuation report then comes into us and then we send it to the bank saying the valuation's all good. We've already checked for any comments or any thing that could cause us any hurdles. The bank then do a final assessment, and then if there is mortgage insurance, it actually gets sent to the mortgage insurance team. So that's what we do need, 2 or 3 weeks, because there's these steps that are taking days to happen. So the valuation is literally someone getting a request, calling you, booking a time that suits you and your vendor, going down to the property, coming back, writing the report. So that's like 3 days. So then the mortgage insurer will approve the loan. Sometimes they ask for some extra information outside of what the banks ask for. Goes back to the bank, to the assessor again. The assessor does their final assessment, assuming they've got authority to sign off on it. We get formal approval. So formal approval is when the bank's completely finished.
Yep.
So during that process, for us at Blackfish, we're high communicators, as you know. We would let you know when the valuation's been ordered. We've got conditional approval. It's gone to the mortgage insurer. We've got formal approval.
Yeah, and just something on that, we quite often get calls from buyers that'll say, oh, we've had our finance approved. And from our perspective, we consider it not approved until we've got something in writing.
Yep.
I know there's one bank in particular that won't issue the agent the letter. They'll only go to the client. It's sort of like dealing with people like you, because you can swing us the letter on their behalf. Once we've got the letter, we send that off to the conveyancers to show that we've met that condition, and then obviously it goes from under contract to sold, because usually that's the last condition we're waiting to meet.
Exactly right. Yeah. So, and that's when, so formal approval is what it's called, so it's unconditionally approved, so there's nothing else we need to tick. So when from our office, our procedure is we send, firstly we call our clients, we celebrate, we send them all the details and confirm everything, then we send a formal email out to the agent, copying the conveyancer, copying our clients. It's action stations, that's when the sold sticker goes on, so that's when you guys go out and do your sold sticker, that's when our clients take the photos, and then the banks then issue the loan contracts to us. So there are, it is a minimum of 30 days here in South Australia to purchase a property when there's finance involved, because there are so many steps.
Just on that, if I think back 2 years ago or longer, we would generally give 2 weeks for finance approval and kind of settle in 30 days. What we're tending to do nowadays is go 3 weeks for finance approval and 5 weeks to settle as a kind of minimum.
Yep.
Because obviously, as you would find, or why are the banks taking a bit longer now than they used to?
Compliance. Yeah. So certainly anyone that's dealt with me recently, as opposed to 2 years ago, the amount of paperwork and compliance we need to do is more than tripled.
Yeah.
So certainly files are taking longer from a compliance perspective. The amount of information we need, so there's a lot more checks happening in the background for the banks and compliance.
Yeah.
And like I say, all those steps, it can't be controlled all the time because there's so many third parties.
Yeah.
And even then, when we are saying 3 weeks and 5 weeks,
Mm.
if it's a family guarantee or we're doing a refinance to get cash out, we sometimes need longer
Yeah.
to make it happen. So that's why it's really important that the client is fully educated of what needs to happen, and we're really hot on that. And then we would call an agent saying, this is what's happening in the background,
Yeah.
just so you know there's nothing wrong. We've got a lot of things happening.
And I can't stress enough, when we are the conduit between our vendors and what's happening at your end, and there's nothing more frustrating than when it's taking time and we're calling a bank, let's say, and they just say, oh no, it's still with this, but there's no specifics.
Yeah.
It's great when we can ring you because you'll give us specifics.
Yeah.
It's here with them now because they're just assessing this part of it. And if we can go back with a bit more of the story to the vendor, they can understand that something's happening.
Yeah.
Because obviously, banks probably, they cop a bit of a hiding out there, but they have to be careful. And the process now, as you've educated me, it's a lot more extensive than
much
it used
more
to be.
complex.
Yeah,
And I think
yeah.
the difference is if you go direct to a bank, they give you a home loan, whereas we help you buy a house. So we are emotionally invested in you. We love our clients. We love the outcome. We don't want to disappoint anybody, so we're working really hard. So I've got such a good team back here, making sure we chase the banks every single morning. What's happening on this file? What's happening on this file? This is where it's supposed to be. So if you think about it from a bank's perspective, banks are our business partners here at Blackfish, but they've just got a process. They haven't got that relationship with the client. They don't get the stress that we get, put on our shoulders. So I think definitely communication is key to make sure everyone understands what's happening in the background. And we do have what's happening next steps in our emails, so it keeps everybody up to date. So that's what's happening in the background for finance. And again, like we said last week, no such thing as a silly question. So if you're not sure what's going on, even if you're selling or buying with a different real estate agent, Travis is happy to be a sounding board, and vice versa. And we certainly do see that, don't we? Sometimes you ring me, even though I'm not helping one of your clients, we help you fix something, or we reassure you this is normal, or it's not normal. Ask this. So it's happening. So I think that's the good thing about having experts.
I think dealing with experts definitely will help you get through the process quicker. So we are the experts that would like to help you. So
thanks for following us on Facebook. We do like it when you guys send us messages asking questions or asking for updated videos. So if you've got anything else you want us to address, let us know. Have a good day.
Thank you.